Hello and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Okay guys, got this post here from the DeFi investor and thought I would show you this because this is very interesting, and if this is correct, this could be very bullish for HBAR indeed. So let's get to the post here on X. So we have the DeFi investor and he says, I'm convinced that real-world assets, in brackets RWA, will be a leading narrative in the bull run. The reasons for this are many. It's easy to understand for retail. Institutions are betting big on RWA. It's the fastest growing DeFi sector by TVL. Then afterwards he's just put, what are your favourite RWA projects? Okay, and then we've got this quick graph which is actually showing you how much in billions this actually specific use case is going up. So RWA is the category, and you can see in the chart how much it's growing. So it's going up to like 7 billion at the moment. So you can blatantly see it's rapidly rising. So we've then got a response to this from SaucerSwap Labs. Now SaucerSwap Labs, if you don't know, they're a swap decentralized exchange on Hedera. And they have put in response to this, there is no better network for real world assets, in brackets RWAs, than Hedera. As the fastest growing sector in DeFi by total value locked, in brackets TVL, RWAs are making significant progress on Hedera, highlighted by the recent launch of the Diamond Standard and their fungible token on SaucerSwap. We are thrilled to see Hedera take the lead in defining the future of DeFi. Wow. So, the Diamond Standard, I've actually done a video on them before because I actually saw them very early on in my channel, so I covered them quite a while ago now. But they're basically tokenizing diamonds on Hedera, and they actually left Ethereum to come over to Hedera because they said Hedera is the better network. So, once again, you've got companies leaving Ethereum to come over to Hedera, so, you know, you already know how that goes. But yeah, in regards to this, really interesting. And if this is correct, well, this is going to be very bullish for HBAR, right? Really bullish, especially as it's looking like we're going to be going into a bull run next year. So, especially as it's looking like we're in a bull run and we're going to be going into it quite significantly next year if the Bitcoin ETF does get approved, right? So this is looking really good. And this is why I have to keep showing you these kind of things, guys, because I'm really trying to make you understand. When it comes to investing, don't just look at the price. Don't just look at the price action. Because really and truly, the price action is a distraction. That's really what it is. Because at the end of the day, you don't know what's going to take off and you don't know when it's going to take off, okay? The thing that you need to do when it comes to investing is just do your research and invest in cryptos that you believe have longevity, because that's what it's all about. Because at the end of the day, longevity is what's going to secure you some reward at some point in the future, yeah? Because look at it like this. You could invest in something tomorrow. Let's just say a crypto token comes out tomorrow and it just shoots up in profit. Right, so you've put some money in and let's just say it's like 50x, then you're like, oh my god, this is absolutely incredible. Okay, looks good right now, yeah, you're thinking, yeah, this is all great, it's all looking good. You don't know how things are going to go long term. If you've never done no research, you might just think, oh, it's a new crypto, I heard this influencer talking about it, so I'm just going to get in and jump in and put some money in. Okay, you've made a quick 50x, looking great. But if you've not done any research and there's no real fundamentals there, something could happen to that company and then the crypto just plummets, or they rug pull you, right? Something like that. And so this crypto that you once had a 50x in, it then goes to nothing. You might be thinking, oh, I'm diamond hands because, you know, it's gone 50x. You're thinking, oh, this could go up even more. This could go up to like 1,000x or 10,000x, whatever, that kind of thing, right? Because you've seen the price go up. So now you're getting more and more belief in it. You're getting more and more bullish on it. And then in the end, because there was no real fundamentals and it was all just hype, once something bad happens or some bit of bad news comes out, everybody just starts panic selling and then it just goes down to zero. And because there's nothing there to actually back up the crypto, nothing to back up the network, it then just becomes useless because nobody else wants to buy into it because there was nothing ever there. It was just based on hype. And this is what it is with HBAR, right? HBAR has great fundamentals, and that's the kind of thing that is going to mean that long term you should get a reward. Maybe it might not be right now, but you can feel comfortable that at some point in the future HBAR should get a good reward because it's a solid network. It has utility. It has purpose. And that's what it's all about. That's what investing is. If you're just looking at other cryptos and thinking, oh, that crypto is popping off, well, then you could just do that with anything, right? You could think about the lottery. Oh, this person's just won the lottery. Well, I might as well go and put money on the lottery then. Maybe I could win next time. That's literally what you're doing if you're just chasing price. You're basically just gambling because you're just thinking, okay, let me go into this crypto because it's pumping right now. But you've done no research. You're just looking at the price, seeing it go up and thinking, okay, I want to leave HBAR now and go into this one because the price is going up. Okay, cool. But that's a bad way to look at it, right? Because you've not done any kind of research. You're just chasing the price and then you might end up getting burnt. That's why with me, with HBAR, I believe in the token. I believe in the network. I believe in all the people behind the network. I believe in what they are doing. I believe in the utility it provides. And so I'm just thinking, okay, maybe our time has not come yet. But when I look at this kind of thing in terms of like tokenization, and here we've got real world assets and stuff like that, like this kind of stuff that they're talking about, I completely agree that this is going to be massive. I really do. I think this kind of thing with tokenization and stuff like that, I think it's going to be absolutely huge. And I've said this numerous times on my channel. The Diamond Standard, what they're doing, incredible. Absolutely incredible. So when I'm seeing that kind of stuff, my thing is, okay, maybe the profit's not coming right now. But I believe long term, all this kind of stuff that Hedera is doing, all these kind of use cases, all these partnerships, the governing council, all that at some point is going to be reflected in the price. Right? And that's why long term I just feel comfortable because I'm not sitting here thinking, oh my God, Hedera is a terrible investment. I'm going to lose my money. I just do not believe that whatsoever. That's the honest truth. I don't ever sit here thinking I am going to lose money with Hedera. I might think, okay, maybe I'll take a bit longer to make my money. But the thing is that I'm not worrying that I'm not going to make my money whatsoever. I'm not thinking that I'm going to lose money. And that's what's most important. Because a prime example of that is Terra Luna. A lot of people was making money out of Terra Luna. Everything was all great until it collapsed. So you can think about these other cryptos that are pumping and stuff like that. But you've got to make sure that if you're going to move and take out your money and put it into a different investment, all I'm going to say is just make sure you're doing your research. Because I'm not saying that every other crypto is going to be a rug pull or anything like that. I'm just saying if you're just chasing price, then that's going to lead you to make mistakes. Because you're not looking at what the fundamentals are. And that's what can lead to problems. And also you're chasing green candles, which is never a good idea. You should never really buy in on green candles. That's the worst thing you can do because they could be the local tops. Right? You could be buying at the very top and then as soon as you buy in, it starts to drop down in value. And if you're someone who's willing to leave one crypto for another for price, you're probably someone who's willing to panic sell when you see the price starting to drop as well. Right? Because this is the thing about investing. It's all psychological. It's very psychological. And this is how people get ruined in investing. This is why it is so dangerous for some people because it's a psychological game. It's like, can you see your money drop X amount in value and not be scared to completely pull yourself out? And this is where the real investing comes in because it's like for me, for example, I could buy X amount of HBAR and I could watch it drop about, let's just say 10-15%. I'm not selling because at the end of the day, if nothing has changed in terms of Hedera as a company or the actual token of HBAR, if no bad news has come out or anything like that, that's just the market being the market. I'm not concerned with anything to make me feel like anything bad has actually happened to Hedera. So as long as everything's fine with them as a company and as a network, then I'm just going to hold. Because the same way things are down now, like for example, when you're in a bear market, you eventually come into a bull market and that's when everything goes up. And we're seeing that because HBAR has been going up as the market has been going up, right? So it's just the ebbs and flows. But other people, they get very concerned. They panic sell when things go down because they think they're going to lose all their money. Or they buy in on the green candles, which again could be a bad idea because that could be the top of that price action. And this is where the psychological factors come in. Now look, I'm not saying that if you hold a crypto, it can't ever like completely go down. Obviously you could invest into a company that goes down. For example, Terra Luna, will it ever see the price action that it used to have? Probably not. So if people were holding thinking, you know, one day we're going to see those kind of prices again, I'll be honest, it's very unlikely it would ever get to that kind of price action. I'm not saying that you can't make some kind of recovery, but I doubt it's ever going to get back to the real all-time highs that it was having previously and surpassing those previous all-time highs. I think those days are over, in my personal opinion. But if you've done your research and you've really looked into a company, especially like Hedera, I've got no reason to think that's going to happen. I've got no reason when I look at HBAR, looking at the fundamentals, looking at the companies that they're working with, the partnerships, the governing council, I've got no reason to think that's anything like what happened to Terra Luna is going to happen to Hedera. There's nothing in my mind that would make me even think that's a likely thing to happen, right? So this is where I can feel comfortable that even if HBAR drops like 20-30%, as long as I don't see any bad news about Hedera which has caused that, then I'm just going to think, okay, the market is just doing what the market does. This is just par for the course, and I'm just going to stick it out. I'm just going to weather the storm. Same way, if the price doesn't go up straight away and I'm seeing other cryptos go up, I'm like, okay, you know, fair enough. Like, it's not gone up right now. Of course, I would like it to go up right now, but I guess we've just got to wait a bit longer for it to be reflected. Yeah, it's just one of those things where I guess we've just got to take our time. And this is the thing where I say about it being psychological as well, right? When you look at some cryptos on paper, they look like the obvious choice. So when you think about like HBAR, XRP, XDC, these types of cryptos that have real great utility that can really change certain sectors like finance sectors and things like that. When you look at these kind of cryptos that have such great utility that they can provide, they're the obvious choice. And I think sometimes like the way these markets work, they don't want you to have the obvious choice because that's how you easily make money. Now, I'm not saying that this is all like some kind of manipulation. I don't know. But it does make me wonder, like when you see, for example, like Dogecoin and Pepe just rising exponentially, I'm like, this is so weird because, you know, we all know logically these aren't the tokens that you would invest in. They're not going to do anything. They're literally just meme coins. Like they're just people just going into them for just, you know, just for a joke. And so it's very strange the way the market acts, especially in crypto. Like you do get it here and there with the stock market, but it's nowhere near as bad as crypto. Like you can be holding some of these great utility tokens that have such great purpose, such great use cases. And then you see like these meme coins just flying up and making people like millions. And it's just like, what is going on here? But that's the thing. Again, when you just jump into those kind of coins, you're just chasing price. And for every coin that you see that is successful with those meme coins, there's thousands of others that are unsuccessful, right? So you might look and think, oh, I should have got into Pepe, but you could have been in something else that wasn't successful. And you keep thinking, well, why didn't I get into Pepe? Why didn't I get into Pepe? Because that was the one that was successful. But it's just, you wasn't to know. You would never have known that. So when I'm looking at this and I'm looking at the fundamentals and the things that are going to provide real use cases and solve real problems, I'm seeing this and I'm thinking, well, what they're saying here about HBAR in the bull market, it makes sense. It does make sense because real world assets, like this is a massive thing. And so I can imagine, just as they're saying here, I can imagine this being a very prominent thing within the next bull run because we are slowly moving more towards a utility market. We're not officially in one, and I'm not sure if the next bull run will be a complete utility market. I'm not really convinced of that, but we're slowly getting there. Like the institutions are starting to look in, the institutions are starting to get involved. So I think it's starting to become a bit more clear that they're going to want the cryptos that are actually doing something, right? That are actually serving some kind of purpose. So when I'm seeing this kind of thing, these kinds of posts, it does make sense to me. It does. So if this is the case and this is actually correct, then this is going to be a very big bull run for HBAR. And I'm really excited to see where that goes. But I do think this is a very reasonable mindset. I think this is very plausible. So we'll see where it goes. But as I say, real world assets, massive. I always talk about tokenization. Like I've been saying it for so long. I keep screaming how big this is going to be. It's going to be absolutely huge, guys. So to me, if that's going to start getting reflected and especially becoming apparent in the bull run, it makes logical sense because that is going to be something that's going to be so huge in the future. So it's starting to come to fruition. So I think that would be huge because Hedera already have a lot of people tokenizing assets on the network. But what do you guys think? RWAs being the next prominent thing in the bull run. Do you think this is correct? Do you think this is going to be massive for Hedera? And do you think this is going to be reflected in its price? Or do you not agree with this? Do you not think this is going to be big for HBAR? Is there anything that's been said here that you disagree with? Or do you just not think it's going to be good for HBAR's price overall? Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'd be interested to hear. Thank you very much for watching this. If you did like it, please remember to drop a comment, like, and subscribe. But until next time, take care.